Well, I was in mobile phones, funnily enough, before financial advice, but I always found it interesting. It always seemed curious to me how there was this gap between people with lots of money and people that didn't understand anything about money. So if I figured I want to be that person in the middle there somewhere that's almost like a translator between the two. So I'm Chris Clark, the founder and joint managing director of Advanced Wealth. We deal with pensions, investments, life assurance and what have you. Been around since about 2009, and I was self-employed advisor from say 2005, and a couple of years into that, funnily enough, Andy was a big part of that because I met him at a conference for business coaches. He pushed me in a big way because I was saying, look, I want to do this, and he was saying, well, when I'm ready, when's that? You know, just challenging questions. And in the end, he kept pushing me steps and further towards it, just to get me more of my comfort zone. And then I ended up launching Advanced Wealth seemingly overnight. It just seemed to happen.
My name is Charles Medwin and I work for Advanced Wealth Limited. My business partner Chris started this business slightly before I joined, so he'd been going sort of 2-3 years before. My background is in lots of different things, working for big corporates in London, basically. One of the great things about Andy is he's dispassionate, you know, because he's not in it. Sometimes it's really hard not to be emotionally involved with stuff, and I think Chris and I both can be guilty of that sometimes. But actually, you know, sometimes he makes us rethink or kind of reframes what we're doing.
Having Andy there at times of crisis has been essential life support. I can't put it any other way, because sometimes when you're overwhelmed, you cannot see what's going on, and you sit down and talk to someone calmly who asks some rational questions, challenging your beliefs and so on. It's essential. I mean, someone described it to me as like sitting at the shore and you get 6 little waves and then a massive one comes along and you don't see it coming, and you just it just comes from left field, and it's a whole new set of problems you haven't dealt with before. And yeah, sitting down and having a conversation with Andy always seems to produce solutions from him or me or Charles, you know.
The great thing about Andy is he always insists on doing the coaching where he is, so he won't do the coaching here, and that is, although initially, you know, that feels inconvenient, you soon realise that is the way forward, because unless you physically drag yourself out of the business, and I mean geographically, then you're always going to have 20% or whatever it is going on. Oh, there's this issue going on, there's that issue going on. When you're in his office and when you're with Andy and he's challenging you, and trust me, he is challenging, he gets you out of the mindset. You forget about the day-to-day issues, and all of a sudden he takes you to a different level. Andy has worked with hundreds of businesses over the years. He's got all that experience. He knows what works, what doesn't work. He knows what makes people tick. Why wouldn't you pull that resource, use that resource?
No, I would say Andy's skill from my perspective is his ability to coach the answers out of us, right? Because I mean, my understanding is that 99% of business coaches don't make it, right? So when you find one that has been around for decades or whatever it is now with Andy, you think, hang on a minute, there's someone pretty special here. And yeah, he's not sitting down and saying you should do this and you should do that. It actually doesn't work, because you're engaging someone's ego, and then they're saying, well, no, I don't, I know better than you because you've never worked in my industry, or whatever comment might come up. But no, the fact is he knows how to ask probing questions and to get you to where you need to be without you realising it.